You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. So you on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you. Let's play episode of Far Beyond the World. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. He states plainly, looking at me with a determined expression. It'll mean a great deal to me if you'd consider sitting down to chat another time. I am of no importance, I assure you. Maybe. The cat shrugs. And maybe my senses are right and I'll be singing about you in years to come. That would be the day. I chuckle. I believe I pegged you right. You have caught the eye of the Jarl as well. He smirks and nods towards the upper part of the inn, but I just brush it away. In any case, I shall leave you be. He bows gracefully and nods towards Rannoch. Again, thank your master for his generosity. I decide to ignore this last remark and just let the cat leave in peace. What was that about? The wolf asks as I exhale in frustration. He's rather full of himself. Sounds like someone I know. He winks at me teasingly. I thought you liked him. I did, but then he reminded me way too much of Tano. Ha! He's a bard, being nosy is his profession. And talking in riddles. I scoff, finally looking in the direction he previously nodded towards. What in the world? I gasp out, noticing an entire group of humans sitting on a balcony overlooking the main hall. They're seated comfortably at a large table, getting honorary treatment from the staff. They look important. Immediately, one of them, a youth somewhat my age, zooms in on me with an equally surprised expression. What? Rannoch blinks, following my gaze to the upper story. Huh. When it rains. He smirks, but I shake my head. Not funny. Why are you so troubled? Do you recognize any of them? He asks between each mouthful from his plate. No, but somehow seeing other humans feels weird. I thought I'd never seen my kind again. Never say never. The wolf flashes his brows and lifts his chalice in a gentle prompt. I grab mine and we clink them, but before taking a sip, I notice the youth still drilling their gaze into me. He grabs his own goblet and shyly raises it in a long-distance toast. I bop my glass politely and smile, looking back to Rannoch. This feels really weird. I thought you would be relieved. Perhaps we should take an inquiry. They might know something. Like what? Something about your origin. I highly doubt that. I roll my eyes. There's no harm in asking. The wolf picks up a tablecloth and wipes his muzzle before getting up. Where are you going? To see if we can talk. We shouldn't bother them. I protest, grabbing the wolf's wrist. That seems like prime seating. They're important. So are we. We just spoke with the tiger who owns this whole place. He runs it at best. I correct him, still very much tugging at his wrist. Something tells me getting involved with that party upstairs is a bad idea. Or perhaps some part of me worries that there's an actual possibility that humans might recognize me or want to take me in. I fear Rannoch would be inclined to leave me in their care in such a scenario. Please, just leave it be. I mutter pleadingly, but his gaze is still locked with the balcony. Thankfully, the waitress from before arrives with our drink order. I sigh in relief, poking the wolf and nodding towards the ale. Anything else I can help you with? Yes, we meet with human on the roof. I'm sorry? The female blinks in confusion, darting her gaze towards where Rannoch's pointing. Well, I'm afraid that's not possible, my lord. Why? If on roof there is stair. There are dignitaries from the Broken Isles to the Sorcerer King himself, she mutters apologetically, and they're on a carefully guided tour. Me just speak to humans, not much time. That area is off limits, and I was strictly instructed not to let them be disturbed. Please forgive me, my lord, but I cannot help you. The female bows deeply, and I pull on Rannoch's arm, finally forcing him to sit down. Seriously, it's not worth it. I don't feel like talking to a bunch of strangers. But they might not be strangers. The wolf insists, to which I click my tongue in annoyance. They very much are to me, and if I was someone they lost, they would have already come down to meet us. What do you mean? That kid up there, he's been making eye contact with me for a while now. I nod towards the balcony. Nothing too personal, just the same curiosity they sparked in me. Had he recognized me as one of their own, they'd fetch for me by now. I guess. The wolf sighs in resignation. Can we just enjoy our date without you looking for any chance to dump me? I snicker teasingly, and the wolf matches my taunting expression. Fine. He concedes and picks up his mug. But in turn, you have to stop attracting all the strays. He snorts. They keep coming at you like bees to the honey. What can I say? I'm just sweet and irresistible. I wink at him, and drawing a happy tail wag, and we clink our mugs. We spend another hour or two finishing our meals in arc wine, simply enjoying each other's company. The cat even performs another song, an upbeat tune about a kin who made booze his lover. It's cheery and serves as a cautionary tale for relying on a substance to solve all the problems. He's undoubtedly proving his calling here, much to the lion's dismay. I make a few sporadical glance exchanges and feigned toasts with the youth on the balcony. He seems to feel left out in all the spirited conversation at the table, so I decide to give him some long-distance company. Without words, we seem to be able to exchange our admiration towards the Philinian, while simultaneously trading frowns when the lion decides to attempt another historical ballad. Some people don't know when to quit. At one point, the youth even pokes a burly and handsome-looking man sitting on his right, pointing in my direction. I receive a rather disinterested nod of acknowledgement, and that is that. Another confirmation that we're not connected in any sort of way. I return to Rannoch and exchange our impressions of Strandbard thus far. Although still very proud to be a Tyranid wolf, he struggles and fails to contain some amazement by what we have found here. No matter what anyone would say, Strandbard is simply mind-blowing, and it is clear that Rannoch would want to bring some of it back home. I have no doubt that if there is to be a new chief, no wolf would be better suited for the job than him. Time flies, and when Rannoch finally alerts me that we have to fetch my sandals and retrieve the paperwork, I almost frown. Damn, feels like we just got here. I hastily empty the last gulp of the arc wine and wipe my face as Rannoch gathers our things. There's something undeniably satisfying about going on a shopping expedition with your boyfriend, having him carry said shoppings and take you out to fine dining. 69, no. Oh no, am I turning into a mean girl? I chuckle internally as the wolf pays for our table and leans me toward the exit. Ugh, I could stay here forever. I groan, hearing as the sound of music and laughter slowly fades behind me. You don't say. Rannoch muses teasingly, and I snap out of it. Oh, don't you start with that again. This was amazing. Thank you so much. I embrace the wolf with little to no restraint. At first, he's surprised and a little bit embarrassed, but noticing that none of the passers-by even raise a brow at us, he relaxes and wraps his arms around me. I'm glad you've enjoyed yourself, Moondrop. This was the best date I've ever been on, even if it might be the only one. I'm the best alpha, and you're the best ward. He winks teasingly. We deserve nothing less. Cheeky. I chuckle, snuggling into his chest. Well, it's almost the 11th hour. We have a decision to make. Oh? I mutter worriedly. Should we spend another night here and depart in the morning, or snag a small bottle of wine for the farmer and depart immediately, spending the night at his? Wait, so you're actually taking me back? I stop in my tracks and pulling away, look at him with slight disbelief. Well, I can't devise a way to leave you here without me having to worry about your safety. And since you've proven instrumental in securing those trade rights, I doubt Father could muster many arguments against you. What about Vithier? I cringe slightly, knowing he's the only obstacle we have left. Vithier has a lot of answering to do, both on account of his mission here and Cora's treatment. He makes displays of utter devotion to her, yet leaves the girl wholly deprived of any financial stability. He's the last person I need to take pointers from. Rennick scoffs, crossing his arms in annoyance. I can't help but smile at this slight shift, but still place my hand on his arm. No point getting all up in his business, but I'm glad to see you're developing a backbone. In any case, as much as I love this town, I think we shouldn't tarry. Not only because this mission is urgent, but also I don't want to give you any time to get cold on your feet. I tease, poking him under the ribs, and the wolf snorts, leading us back towards Sloane's workshop. Welcome back, Mr. Future Chief. I assume the diplomatic mission was a failure. You assume wrong. Rannoch smiles with satisfaction. My, aren't you full of surprises? I can't take the full credit, though. None, in fact. It was all thanks to him. He bobs his head towards me, and she smiles in amusement. Yeah, that makes more sense. Having a token human urchin when dealing with tigers does give you pity points. It wasn't just pity. Kalen here is quite a sharp tool. Silver-tongued, the magistrate called him. Would you look at that? She gives me a joyful look, but quickly turns around and walks deeper into her workshop. She returns momentarily with her order and bids me to join her inside. Let me show you how it's done. The female mutters and points to the stool. I sit down and take off my makeshift boots, tossing them to the side. Like now? Should I dispose of those for you? Yes, please. I nod eagerly, very keen to be getting some actual footwear. The sandals fit perfectly like snug slippers, and Sloane proceeds to lace the leather straps around my calves. As she does so, I keep sneaking glances towards the cobalt vest on display. It would look good on you, she mutters, noticing my window shopping. We'll take it. Rannoch quips, drawing a shocked expression from my face. You don't even know how much it is! Doesn't matter. Rannoch shrugs, and Sloane laughs. If that's the case, I want 2 talents. Fine by me. I know you wouldn't screw over a fellow wolf. Fellow wolf, you say? She snickers, stopping her task to look at him challengingly. You're lucky I like you both. Wolves. I charge double. A self-hating kin? Brannick raises his brow teasingly, to which she only snorts. A self-serving one, for sure. Ah, what the heck, 1.5 down, only because you say Ambister like the wee fella. I nearly blush at the exchange and look down, watching her finish fastening my sandals. You secured them like so. She demonstrates, the bow just beneath the back of my knee. The lace graciously curves around my calves, and I must say, I feel pretty chic. I jump off the stool and pivot from a leg to another, much to Rannick's approval. I don't get it, but it looks good. The wolf snorts, drawing an amused chuckle from the female. I am the best for a reason. He gives her a handful of coins that clink in her paw while taking down the vest and presenting it to me. Thank you. I glide my hand across the glistening skin. It's beautiful. Now you have several outfits to change into. If you'd like, you could use my back room. She slowly points, but I shake my head. Nah, we're still heading into the magistrate's palace. The tunic seems more appropriate. I'll change at the farmer's place, I say to Rannick, and the wolf nods. Very well. Thank you again for all the work. No problem. Don't forget me, Mr. Future Successful Diplomatic Mission. Mr. Future Chief Successful Diplomatic Mission, when you'll finally rule. We'd love to see some change if you manage to enact it. She teases, and Rannick only shakes his head. You'll be the one I bring home first. I'll count on it. Well then, let's get our papers and be on our merry way. I nod and happily skip through the street. Having actual shoes and hearing them softly tap against the cobblestone gives me immense satisfaction. And against all my fears, I'll soon be back home. Back at the cabin in the woods. Alrighty, so that's perfect, actually. It picks back up in the next part. Alrighty, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that notification bell. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!